What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, July 8th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Yesterday was an unmitigated disaster. Fucking disaster. The only thing that kept me from losing a K was it was the under 5 in the Habs Lightning game at plus 125. Waited all day to get the best line available. My NHL units are a little higher than my MLB units. But I got absolutely destroyed in MLB last night. I don't remember, at least in the 4 years of doing this publicly, having such a bad night. 0 wins, 8 losses, down 9.65 units. It would have been a double-digit losing night if the fucking Yanks didn't switch their starting pitcher. Give me a void bet. So it was, it fucking hurt, man. It really fucking hurt. So let's get that shit out of the way. Also, a lot of you guys know I had a good friend die a few months ago, and it's his birthday today. So I poured a little Kraken, a little glass to give a shout out to my friend Brandon. Brando, I wish you were still here with us. I wish we were going down to the lake to celebrate tonight. And love you. You mean so much to all of us. And happy birthday, man. Let's get to work. Nuke Worker in the house says, good morning, everyone from the dungeon known as Darlington Nuclear. Let's wipe the slate clean and start a new winning streak. Sounds very good to me. Christopher Gargano says, day job preventing me from being here live again, but dropping in the show. Love to you and the crew. Can't keep a good capper down, which is what you are. That's very kind of you. Thank you. The Rusty Coots play of the day. Dodgers first 5 minus a half at plus 103. You know what? First off, this is a spot that Jose is going to be attacking today. But also, I went to make that bet. It was available for me. I went to make that bet. Then I didn't even click off of it. Something happened, and Bet365 pulled all first 5 action. There is no first 5s available. And this just happened like 15 minutes ago. But you know what? I was kind of stalling because I was like, it's like 9 a.m. for the Dodgers offense. Even though they smash Alcantara, should I take the first 5 under 3.5 instead? The 4.5 was still available, heavily juiced. I didn't know what to do, and then they pulled all the first 5s. Unfucking believable. Sam Culmer, what up, Sam? He says Yankees first 5 money line at minus 120. There's Puzzler. He is he's a wordsmith. Everybody eats. Once in a while, we hurl. No matter, we eat again and heartily. God, I hope so. DC in the house says, how did the ponies treat you? God, I felt like I capped those races well. In that final race at the Assiniboia, my 7-1 missed by a nose. I mean, I hit the try and hit the exacta, but if the 7-1 was on top, it would have paid very nicely. It was an okay day, a middling day, but I did have my mom beside me for that last race of the Assiniboia, and she's going to join me tonight on Razor Sharp Picks Horse Show. So, we're going to be hammering the Kraken. Little mother-son horse racing action tonight, and that's just going to prep us for Friday because I'm taking her to Woodbine. Gerald Jones says NBA game 2. Let's get some, big NBA game. There's Vicente Gigante. I haven't seen Vicente in a while. Nice to see you, man. That's what I need. Gerardo Hernandez, Joshua Keokanlaya in the house. Danny A. CP3 double-double. Nathan over on points for Danny A. DC on Bucks first half. Slatsy, baby, says 2-1 NHL yesterday. Catch Tampa future, but still an empty feeling with the Habs gone. Oh, but what a ride it was. Taint needs to be a 6-inning play. Yeah, Taint having tough luck. We're, thank God for Sharpie's dirty K prop at plus 110. Because we would have been in big, big trouble. There's Razor Sharp right now. Yesterday's Gambler's First Glance got canceled because the pitcher changed, but we're locked and loaded for today's, and I will be on Razor's show tonight. I can't wait. There's Fap win in the house. One of my issues, one of my losers was that first 5 over 4.5 in Cardinals Giants, and they scored 3 runs in the first 2 innings to give me some hope. But Fat win was on the full game under, and I knew when he was on the other side of me that I was in trouble. There's Hustle Wilson in the house. Johnny J. Yeah, God, just ugly. Michael Evelina says yesterday sucked. Oh, God. Awful. Awful. There's Matty Ice in the house. There's North Ender. North Ender now on Twitter. Sorry that I missed all this. I just started following him today, and I will give him a big shout out. There's Tyrone Coleman ready to get to work. And Billy Brisbane, Pub Sports Radio, Golden Ticket Giveaway with yourself, PSR merch. Check my pinned tweet. Billy Brisbane. I will pop that out for you for sure. All right, we got a lot of work to do. Von Polo took the under. I'm not sure which game we're talking about. Von Polo, my man. Also, I retweeted Von Polo's car vlogs yesterday. They're really good. He shoots him in his home city of Baltimore, Charm City, baby. And it's very, very cool. Definitely check him out. I am now a subscriber. All right, Cap. A lot pops as every dog has its day. Yeah, it's just fucking awful. Love you, Josh Keel can lie, my man. Okay. And thank you, Danny A, for giving a shout out to Big Brando. I've known him since he was 16, and he worked his way up to managing my home comedy club, the Toronto Yuck Yucks, and very close with the family. So thank you, guys. Tough. Kev Reed. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Keep your eye on the prize and make it a great day, Jimmy. Thank you, Kev. God, I love you, buddy. And thank you, Sammy. It's the first time I pulled this bad boy out. All right. We've got tons of work to do. Danny said, dude, just drink the leche. We're good, boys. Yeah, it feels very nice. There's Piker. Oh, God, Piker. Yeah, I was a fucking big part of that. I did not help. Yes, he was talking about the hockey game. Yeah, it was beautiful. Big plus line. Josh says Jimmy's never met me in real life, but he has never butchered my Southeast Asian name. Respect, man. Okay, let's get to work. And Vompo said I took the under last night for Lightning Game. Thanks for watching my video. Oh, my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Okay. All right. So let's just go over what happened yesterday a little bit more and then just fucking forget about it and move on to today. We started the day up 15.64 units with an ROI of over 4%. But we went 0-8, down 9.65 units. And about a month ago, or when we were in our big winning streak, I moved my MLB unit size from 125 up to 150. So it was a $1,200 loss. My NHL unit size still is $200, so I got the plus 125 on the hockey game. So I ended up down 950, which hurts. It hurts. Cincinnati first, 4.5, minus a half, minus 135. Mally Mal said to me, he said, and the week before, they weren't giving me the first 5, so I had to take the first 7 in the Sonny Gray start, and they cashed in the 6th inning. And he said, God, Sonny Gray's been winning his starts, and the Reds have been winning his starts, but he has not been cashing first 5s. I still went with it. They win the game 5-2, but I lose. They were down 2-0 after 5. Boston first 5, minus 125. They tied it up at 2 in the top of the 5th, and then Ohtani hit a home run. I don't know why they're pitching to Ohtani. Everybody else, all the other big bats are hurt. Just pitch around them. Philadelphia first 5, minus a half. Alec Mills had a giant start. Colorado first 5, minus 110. One thing I've been doing this year is not making the same mistakes as last year or the years prior. And bullpen days with bad bullpens, I seem to get so excited. Like I know this bullpen's gonna shit the bed, and I lose them. The bad bullpen seemed to put it together for a bullpen day. Colorado first 5 was a loser. St. Louis, San Francisco first 5 over 4.5 was a loser. Seattle first 5 voided with the pitching change. Detroit, Texas, no run first inning was a juicy loser at minus 130. Boston minus 1 at minus 104. I can't believe Myers got out of that 8th inning. I thought we were in business. And San Diego minus 1 at minus 126. Paddock just got me right in the old chocolate starfish. Paddock, you son of a bitch. Violated the old prison pocket and hurt me badly. All right. Jansen says it's okay, Jimmy. Your family still loves you. Love is priceless. Thank you, Jansen. That is true. Okay. Oh, and Mike M says Wheeler's wheels fell off big time. Cubby smashed them. DC says Dodgers are 9-0 in Urias his last 9 days. or last 9 Thursday starts he likes days after the hum. One quick thing is, even though this terrible, terrible day of losing, we're still having a good season. So let's just focus on that. It's good. If you had offered me the opportunity on July 8th to be up 5.99 units on the season with an ROI plus 1.67%, I would have taken it. 193 wins, 165 losses, 53.9%, average line minus 112. All right, let's get to work. We start at 12:10 p.m. Eastern. LA Dodgers 53-34, 25-21 on the road at Miami Marlins, 38-47, 21-18 at home. loanDepot Park in Miami, Florida. I expect the roof to be closed. There's my man, Marlon Z says, I need cash. I hear you, Marlon. Let's get it. Soupy Panty's already made a bet on Marlins Dodgers first 5 over 3.5. Interesting. Well, I mean, it was juiced towards the over, but we do have Jose's Say Hey play of the day on this game that starts in 55 minutes. We'll go over lineups. We'll go over all the pertinent information and break this down. Shout out to my son, Jose. Say Hey play of the day. He peaked his head up in positive units about a week and a half ago, about 2 weeks ago. And we've fallen back. But I believe in him. Sitting 13-17, down 4.08 units, ROI minus 13.60%. But he is lost 4 or 5. He's lost 5 of 7. He has lost 10 of 14. But that came on the heels of a 5-game winning streak. And I believe he can get hot once again. Please welcome to the show, my son and yours, Jose.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see everyone. Different location. Shout out to CPS for working on my power. So I'm in studio now. I hope you guys can hear me well. I do have the Pub Sports Radio microphone, so branding. But hopefully today's a good day, Jimmy. I can feel it. Today's the day we turn a corner, and I like your hat as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so this obviously yesterday was just a fucking train wreck. The Wednesday last week, I went 1-6. So don't think I'm not noticing these rough Wednesdays. Now, last week on the Thursday, I needed to bounce back badly. I didn't get it. I went 2-2, down 0.35 units. But on the Friday, I swept the board 4-0. So let's get to work. Thank you, Big Show, my man. So we have Orioles going up against Sandy Alcantara at loanDepot Park in Miami, Florida. Urias 10-3, 3.81 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 99 in the third, 110 Ks, 21 walks, 14 home runs. In his last start, he looked good against the Nationals, who hit lefties hard. He went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, just 1 was earned, 3 walks and 3 Ks. But he hasn't been as strong over the last 5 or 6 starts. But is coming off a good one. Alcantara is coming off a really strong start, but earlier in the year, the Dodgers hit him hard. They have very high numbers against him. But his last start was at Atlanta, a team that hits righties hard. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, none earned, 4 walks, 4 Ks, and 3-2 win. He's a 2.96 ERA, 1.09 WHIP on the season. He's always dangerous at home. Dodgers hit righties hard, 246, 762 OPS. Marlins are the worst team in Major League Baseball versus lefties, 227, 668 OPS. How are you attacking this game, Jose?
Well, Jimmy, these are 2 great pitchers. 2 pitchers I like to watch. I'm a little worried about our man Urias' spin rate stuff. He's been down. I'd probably lean towards his under strikeouts today, but I still think he does have a good day. And I think that the chat so far this morning has been pretty lockstep about this. You were looking at the under 3.5 for the first 5. And I'm looking at the under here as well, but I'm taking the full game under of 7.5 currently on Pinnacle right now. It is, I believe, is minus 115. Let me double check. Minus 116. So I roll with that. I think these 2 good pitchers get the job done. The Dodgers, if you bet on the Dodgers, you know one thing: the Dodgers offense is very wishy-washy. Some days it'll be that world-beating staff we see. Other times it gets dazzled by mediocre pitchers. So I'm rolling with the under here. I don't think we get that many runs. I was on it last night as well, so hopefully we get another one today.
I like the look, and I don't know why Bet365 pulled all the first 5s off the board, but I just think this is if the Dodgers offense is what we're most concerned of, which clearly that's the situation I see. Matty Ice with no run first inning. And they're starting the game at 9:10 10 a.m. Pacific time. I think that's tricky for them to be locked and loaded, but they have hit Alcantara hard in the past. Let's just go to the baseball data here and break that down. We have against Alcantara 474 batting average, 1.636 OPS. They've smashed them 9 for 19 with 5 doubles and 2 homers, 7 of the 9 hits for extra bases. Against Urias, just 231, 567 OPS. Let's take a quick look at where the cash lies in this opening game. Here we go. We have 6,027 tickets in, so a nice little, by far the most we have of any other game. We have 77% of the money line tickets on the Dodgers, 90% of the cash on the Dodgers. And here's the tricky spot: 50% of the tickets on the over and 78% of the cash. So that is interesting. Ishmael Reeves says he likes the over. Javier Gonzalez is kind of liking the Marlins. Dabfen says everyone knows about that horrible game in LA. That doesn't happen to Alcantara today. Marlins and Donnie Baseball want this sweep. I'll take the plus money.
On top of that, too, Sandy's just so much better at home. I mean, and Julio, surprisingly enough, is better on the road. His splits, he has a lower ERA on the road. He has a 3.5 on the road and an over 4 at home, which I thought was pretty surprising. But numbers don't lie. Maybe he's a little bit of a dog like that and likes to go into enemy territory. So I like that. I like his look today. I mean, I think he'll have a good start. Like I said, under strikeouts probably because he doesn't have that wipeout stuff anymore. But I think he still gets the job done. Jimmy, you know what I am noticing though, with a little bit of light and a little closer to this camera, everyone's starting to notice the Pablo Escobar mustache that's going on right now. And
we're all very proud of it.
You shouldn't be. But I would like to tell you something, Jimmy. I have made a promise to myself, a vow that I will not be shaving until I have a plus week. I need to have a good week before I can shave. And is it this week? Maybe not, but you guys will be benefiting by seeing this ugly ass mustache for maybe a little while longer.
Yeah, you're right there. You're down 0.07 units on the week. So I want the stash to continue. So I hope that you go down in flames.
Okay, well, hey, we're on the right side here, Jimmy. You and me are on this same side. And, what could possibly go wrong? We're on the same side of something.
Well, we're not officially. I can't let you take me down with you. I didn't bet it. My plan was the first 5. They pulled it from the board, and I still like it. If we're worried about the Dodgers bats, I still think it takes them an hour or 2 to get rolling. But, Jose, let's get yourself a casher, my friend. There he is. Jose Seje, play of the day is full game under 7.5. And what was that line at? Under 7.5. What was the juice? Minus 116?
Yeah, minus 116. And for Slats, our man Slats, I do not know who ZZ Top is. That is a game that we could play for a long time. Asking me who people are, and I'll be like, no, I have no idea, especially with music, Jimmy. I'm especially ignorant when it comes to music, and it's pretty bad. For example, I learned that the Rolling Stones were a band and not just a magazine just this past year. So that was interesting.
Jesus. Well, if you focus on baseball, we'll only ask you questions regarding baseball. How about that? God bless you and your mustache, Jose. Take this home under 7.5 minus 116 for Dodgers Marlins for our man, Jose. Max on record saying something nice, says, please, positive week. Porn stash is hideous. I disagree. I think that's a good looking cum catcher right there. And I bless you and I bless it.
Wow. I'm going to be thinking about the phrase cum catcher for a while now. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Focus on that, not the Rolling Stones. There he is, Jose Seje, play of the day right there. And Dirty K prop is in. I repeat, the Dirty K prop is in. How did I miss it? Puzzler says once you finish puberty, you'll have to shave your whole face. And Mississippi Kid on the Tigers team total over 4.5 is his play of the day. How did I miss the 30K prop? How did I miss it? Matty I says 30K is in. Oh, there it is, right there. Looking for 4 in a row. Dirty K Brubaker over 4.5 minus 139 going versus the Mets, who last 15 days K percentage 29%. Okay, that is coming up, so we will break that all down. There we go, Sharpie. We'll break that down for the Pirates game. Thank you for the heads up on that. And I am a Brubaker fan, so let's pop that right here. That's Pirates, Mets. And we move on. We move on. All righty. Here we go. Next up for us is 2:10 p.m. Eastern. The Oakland Athletics, 49-39, 22-17 on the road at Houston Astros, 54-33, 28-16 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The roof will be closed. It is raining today. We got Frankie Fucktoss Montoss, 7-7, 4.63 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, 93 1/3, 95 Ks, 27 walks, 14 home runs. Fucktoss's last start, he went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a 3-2 extra inning loss at home versus the Red Sox. Lance McCullers on the opposite bump, 6-1, 2.97 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, 72 2/3, 81 Ks, 39 walks, and 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 1/3, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 4 walks, 8 Ks, and a 6-3 win at the Indians. Matty Ice says, I see runs here in this game. I just don't know how to bet it. A's versus righties, 232, 720 OPS, and Astros smash righties, 266, 789 OPS. A's, Astros bullpen both have 4.11 ERAs. A's bullpen has a 1.28 whip and has converted 21 of 32 save opportunities, while the Astros bullpen has a 1.31 whip and has converted 21 of 35 save opportunities. Let's start with the line in this game. We're going to move over to full game. Let's just move over just to MLB only. Why don't we just have MLB only up here? Okay, here we go. Money lines and totals. All right. Let's go. These Astros open up at minus 151. There's been a 21-cent move towards them. This game was initially juiced to the under at minus 115. There's been a 5-cent move back to the over. So it's still slightly juiced to the under. Luke Murphy says, what was Jose's look at work? So volume is down. Luke, no worries. No worries. Jose's look was on the under. If someone could write that in, Jose, if you could write that in for the guys who are at work and can't have the volume up, but it was the under full game under 7.5 in the Dodgers game. And there's Jamel right in the house. Great to see you, Jamel. Okay, so next up, we have this Astros spot. So let's move over to the baseball data and see what we are dealing with here. Against Montas, they're hitting 281 with a 799 OPS. Home runs from Correa, Altuve, and Brantley and Tucker. Against McCullers, they're hitting 253 with a 759 OPS. So we've seen a slight move to the over. Both bullpens are average. Let's see what we have from a market where the cash is 72% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the Astros. Then 45% of the tickets on the under and 54% of the cash on the under. Robert Allen says, I've been on the A's last 2 games. I'm done losing money in this series. Astros are probably the play, but if I take them, the A's will finally win, and I'm not going to risk finding out. Kevin Riley says, good morning. Get all over Phoenix. They roll again, going up 2-0 in the series easy. I think that's where I'm leaning, Kev. I think that's probably what's going to happen for me. Soupy Panties, Astros first 5 in team total with the over looking naughty. Wesley Costas in the house says Astros haven't lost at home with McCullers on the hill since April. DC says Athletics are 0-5 in their last 5 road games versus a right-handed starter. Mike M, Astros team total over 4.5. I don't trust Oakland to score enough to get the over here. Piker says I trust McCullers in the -1 spot with the way the Astros are rolling right now. Yeah, they certainly are rolling right now. But I missed the opportunity to attack this. -175 and +110 is a pretty pricey -1. And something that I should have attacked earlier. I don't want to sit here on the ass end of this line. -175 +110 is a -131. The Czar says Manai only gave up 2 runs last time versus the Astros. You mean Montas? Probably talking about Montas. Eric Thomas, we'll break that game down. We got Trot Wam here on the show. I'm excited about capping game 2. And turns he is on the Bucks +5. Okay, we got a lot of guys talking basketball. I'm looking forward to get over there. We will get over there soon. And, thank you, Jose, for putting yesterday's 0-8, 9.65 units down in very small writing, so it doesn't devastate me. Montas coming off a nice start against the Red Sox team that hits hard. It was at home. It did help him. Nigel Lee says, this is the Astros run we were crying for. Don't overthink it. Get on before it's too late. Great call, Trusty. Trusty gave us a winner on the show yesterday when he talked about how Flavian Pratt had come to Indiana Grand for the one race, the one mount on the 11th race, and it paid $8 on $2. So it was a great, great look. There's Trot Wam in the house. Okay. I think that I don't want to take the ass end of this Astros line. That's how I feel. But we'll return and take another look at that. Okay, we move on. 3:40 p.m. next. Colorado Rockies 37-50, just 6-33 on the road at the Arizona Diamondbacks 25-63, 15-27 at home. Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. The roof will be closed. Chichi Gonzalez on the hill, 2-5, 5.52 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 76 2/3, 42 Ks, 20 walks, 13 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings. He allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 0 walk, 1 K, in a 9-3 loss at home versus the Cardinals. Speaking of the Cardinals, on Razor Sharp's horse racing show yesterday, there was talk from Gas Station Sushi about flat betting the Cardinals every day. And he thinks he's possibly going to do that for the next 30 days. We'll talk more about it on tonight's show with Razor Sharp Picks. But he thinks that there is value in flat betting the Cardinals every day and fading the San Francisco Giants every day for a little 30-day run here. Very interesting stuff from a professional gambler. We must listen. Eric Thomas says, and Colorado first 5. Johnny K says, how many penalties can the Lightning get away with the last 5 minutes? Ridiculous. It wasn't even that. It was in that first period. There was a couple blatant penalties, but the better team won, so we can let go. And look, I despise all other Canadian teams than the Canucks. So, Jake Faria, 0-0, 5.25 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 12 innings, 11 Ks, 3 walks, 2 home runs. Last start, he did not look good. 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 6-5 loss at home versus the Giants. Rockies versus righties, 235, 681 OPS. Diamondbacks versus righties, 228, 658 OPS. Both bullpens are terrible. KCOH MMA says, I like the over 9.5. Both projected starting pitchers have ERAs of at least 5.25 on the season. The over is 13-6. Diamondbacks last 19 home games versus a team with a losing record. Yeah, I like the Coochie in her interview. You need to have that swagger. You need to have that swagger if you're going to be the best. And I think he is the best. Certainly the best in the playoffs. Okay, and Puzzler says, I think the Cards are better than the record as well. DC says Rockies are 1-8 in Gonzalez last 9 starts versus a team with a losing record. Okay, so let's go to baseball data here and take a look at the market as well. Rockies first 5 was a losing bet for me yesterday. You have to think that the Diamondbacks had to have gone through their bullpen in a bullpen day, and they have a starting pitcher who doesn't go over 4. They opened up at -126. They're now -128. This total has gone from 9 to 9.5. So let's see if the 3,354 tickets in, we have 54% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on the Rockies, and a tiny move here. Tiny move here on the Diamondbacks. Also, we have 32% of the tickets on the under and 82% of the cash on the under. Against Chichi, they're hitting .261 with an .868 OPS, 12 for 46. And against Faria, they've seen him 4 at-bats and have 3 hits. God. Javier says, I think Arizona has the edge on this. Wesley says Rockies hitting 199 as a team on the road. Mike M says, like the flat bet theory, I'm applying that to Detroit. 24 games versus MLB worst, and now 2-1 after 3, all plus money. Yeah, the Tigers are a better team than they look. I agree. PG 00187 says the under, Jimmy. That's a ballsy way of betting this. Piker says Arizona in July is technically hell. It's hell on earth, under 9.5. God, I just wish I could back the Rockies here. It just feels like just reaching, but plus 110 on the Rockies full game against the Diamondbacks team that's used up their bullpen. I mean, the Rockies bullpen is so bad. The first fives are back on the board. Are we better off taking the Rockies first five at plus 115 and backing Chichi? Henry Hen saying Rockies are bad away. They are. Jermel says over or nothing in this trash game. All right, I have interest, God, again, on the Rockies first five. So I'm going to put a question mark there, but I am getting a plus 115 line. Steve Priest says Arizona going for their first sweep all season. Yes, climate-controlled dome. Yes, Puzzler. And they have that humidor in there to let's drop the offense. Okay, so let's move on to 4:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the New York Yankees, 44-41, 21-19 on the road. The Seattle Mariners, 45-42, 26-19 at home. T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington, 69 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 4 miles per hour, out to right center. Jordan Montgomery going up against Logan Gilbert. They have a lot of faith in Logan Gilbert, the Seattle organization. Montgomery 3-3, 4.17 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 86 in the third, 86 Ks, 26 walks, 9 home runs. Did not look good in his last start. Only made it through 4 in the third against the Mets team that doesn't hit lefties hard. 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 3 walks, 6 Ks, and 8-3 loss. Robin Allen says I was on the Rockies yesterday and it pissed me off every time I take them on the road. I don't know how they're so bad on the road and so good at home. There's no in between either. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and just feel like such a clown going back or even trusting them at all. And now I want to do it again. Poe Buddy's Nervous said Chad Green looked good last night. Yeah. Okay. And Steve Priest says Seattle 16-12 versus left-handed starters. Interesting because they're only hitting 221 with a 675 OPS. Okay. So let's talk about Logan Gilbert. Last start was a good one for him. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, just 2 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and the 5-4 extra inning win at home versus the Rangers. Now he gets that consecutive home start, which can be very, very helpful. But the Yankees are hitting hard right now. Yankees versus righties, 231, 708 OPS. Yankees bullpen has been getting hit hard. Still 3.47 ERA, 1.16 WHIP on the season. You know what? Yeah, Christopher Comatini, I did see Loshak's action. He's very pumped being a part of what we're doing here and being back in business. So we're going to see more of Loshak moving forward. Johnny K says Mariners. Yes, Mally Mal. And we gave you a shout out off the top of the show as well. Dodgers Marlins was off the top. Jose went on the under 7.5, and I actually was about to bet. You know what? I was stalling. I was about to bet the Dodgers first 5 -0.5, and then they took all the first fives off the board at bet 365 for some reason. Must have been some sort of computer issue. And I was also interested in that first 5 under 3.5, just thinking that the Dodgers offense might be a little sleepy when their body clocks say 9-10 a.m. for a start. Steve Priest says Luke Voigt red hot for the Yankees. DC, he says Yankees are 1-5 in the last 6 games versus a right-handed starter. Over 7-1 in Mariners last 8 games following a loss. Okay, let's go to the baseball data in this spot. Montgomery, the Mariners have not seen Montgomery, and the Yankees have not seen Gilbert. Interesting that the Mariners have not seen. That's hard to believe. That is hard to believe. Okay, so the batters have not seen either pitcher. Yankees opened up at -137. They're now -129, an 8-cent move towards the Mariners. This total opened up the over 8.5 at -117 at Pinnacle, and it's now under 8.5 that's juiced at -111. Henry Hen, I did like that. And I think I was just really hesitant because of what happened to me yesterday. Puzzler says Yanks have too many right-handed batters. I like Gilbert's chances. So let's go to where the cash lies here. So we know there's an 8-cent move to the Mariners. Does this make sense with the cash? We have 63% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the Yankees and a clear market move to the Mariners. 61% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the over. There's Vitalis in the house. I am not going back to Seattle today. I'm not going to take the other side. Yeah, Vitalis, you were right, man. You were right. Piker says Montgomery, 5.53 ERA on the road. M's have won all of Gilbert's recent starts they have, yeah. Yankees are ice cold. It's a standard play to fade losing big market teams when you're catching a plus side. No, I wouldn't say the Yankees are ice cold right now just because they have won 2 straight to start this trip. But all right, taint play of the day is in. I repeat, taint is in. We will break it all down once we get to the game, but taint play today is in. Reds team total over 3.5 minus 120. Brian Watson says Dodgers sitting Pollock and Turner today. Professor Chris talking about the pitcher's park in Seattle. Absolutely. And Matty Ice says he also likes the Reds first 5, but he's done getting hurt that way, and it's being bad. Like, I mean, he's cashing. This team wins 14-3 yesterday, and you can't catch that first 5. Just really tough luck for taint right now. Okay, so we will get to the taint play today, and we're going to get to Sharpie's K-pop here shortly. Thank you, DX Filer. What up, Steve Zhang? What up? DX Filer joining us. Okay. I understand why you guys are backing the Mariners here. I completely get it. And I guess starting out my card with, let's say, Rockies first 5 at plus 115 and the Mariners at, plus whatever they are would make sense. I am not going to move on Yankees Mariners. That's not how I'm going to. But I get why you guys are on it. All right, let's move to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Blue Jays 44-40, 25-20 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles, 28-58, 13-27 at home. And Mr. Ghost is on Seattle score first and Seattle first 5. Seattle score first is a very interesting look there. You have that chance to get that cash before. Oh, wait, sorry. What am I talking about? Yeah, you need to get through that Yanks lineup the first time. It's dangerous, but you get the plus spot. Vital says, say, hey, Jose, I can't take much more. You better bring it today. What he did bring was a thick mustache, and the light was just glistening off of it. And he's on the under 7.5 in the Dodgers game. All right, we have rain in Baltimore, and I'm not sure if this game goes. And Piker loves the taint today. Vital says take Blue Jays in the first 5 minus a half, minus 150. The Blue Jays lineup is stacked. Let's go. Camden Yards, Baltimore, Maryland. Blue Jays 44-40, 25-20 on the road. At the Orioles, 28-58, 13-27 at home, 79 Fahrenheit rain, 10 miles per hour out to left center. Manoah going up against Keegan Aiken. Keegan Aiken looked decent in the start of the season, and he's been getting absolutely crushed of late. Manoah, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, and an 11-1 dominating win at home versus the Rays last out. And now he goes back out on the road. He's 2-0, 2.70 ERA, 1.01 whip on the season. Keegan Aiken is now 0-4, 7.46 ERA, 1.68 whip, 41 innings, 38 Ks, 16 walks. There's Beats in the house. Nice job with your Tampa Bay Lightning cash, my man Breeds. Manoah versus O's. Wesley Cost says must see TV. Jays first 5 is a play as long as Manoah pitches around Mountcastle. DC says Orioles are 0-5 in Aiken's last 5 starts. The Jays smash lefties. Keegan Aiken just got done getting smashed by the Angels. But now he comes back home. Against the Angels, he went 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Christopher Comatini says Jays are raking. Against lefties, 257, 764 OPS. Orioles don't hit righties, 221, 666 OPS. And Sam Comer says Baltimore hammered Manoah last time in Baltimore. They did. And by the way, this Orioles bullpen is completely falling apart now. 4.88 ERA, 1.38 WHIP. So let's go to the baseball data here. And we have Manoah coming off a big game against the Orioles. They're hitting 280 with a 1.117 OPS. They're 7 for 25, but 4 of those 7 hits are homers. 2 of them from Mountcastle. Against Aiken, the Jays are hitting 317 with a 1.126 OPS. And Vitalis says maybe a Guerrero Jr. home run prop. Let's see where the cash is. And actually, why don't we see how big the market has moved towards these Jays? They opened up at minus 205. They're not minus 206, just a 1 cent move towards them. This total's gone from 11 to 10.5. And we do know that rain's in the forecast. This game might not go. So let's take a look at the. You have 83% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Jays. And there's a 1 cent move towards them. It's fishy. 56% of the tickets on the over and 57% of the cash. And that's with 5,283 tickets in. I'm not sure if this game goes. DC, Toronto, first 5 minus a half. I mean, you have to think that the Jays team total is going to be enormously high, and it's not available. Why would that be? And the first 5's not available? What's going on with this fucking book today? I don't have a team total at this point right now. All right. I don't know if this game goes. And Von Polo says rain is coming. So let's move on. I'm not going to move on it. Let's move past it. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals 36-50, 15-28 on the road at the Cleveland Indians. 42-42, 21-19 at home. The Indians have fallen apart. Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. 77 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy. 5 miles per hour sideways out to the right field pole. And Mike M says, I'm just outside Buffalo calling for rain fest tonight. Yeah, the game's in Baltimore, but it looks like it's going to be raining all over. All right. Danny Duffy, 4-3, 2.60 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 52 innings, 57 Ks, 18 walks, 5 home runs. Last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and a 6-3 win at home versus the Twins. Plesac on the other hill, 4-3, 4.14 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 58 2/3, 38 Ks, 12 walks, 9 home runs in his last start. And as Wesley Costa says, he's coming off the IL, too much of an unknown. In his last start, he went just 3 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 1 K, and an 8-5 extra inning loss at home versus the Twins. The Royals aren't hitting righties, 241, 686 OPS, and the Indians aren't hitting lefties, 226, 74 OPS. Royals bullpen, 4.58 ERA, 1.40 WHIP, we're at 18 of 32, and the Indians bullpen that looked so strong earlier in the year has looked vulnerable at times, 3.40 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, have converted 22 of 28. So baseball data, the Indians are hitting 247 with a 713 OPS versus Duffy. Nice numbers against them. 93 at-bats, and he's only allowed 1 home run to Jose Ramirez, who's just 7 for 37 against them. Hitting 189 with a 593 OPS. Those are nice numbers. Against Plesac, 220 with a 713 OPS. Let's see the Plesac tree update. What was he out with? What the hell was he out with? Quick update on him. Plesac being on the injured list with a fractured thumb. That hurts. Fractured thumb. That's not going to be an easy thing to bounce back. Oh, yeah, there's Steve Breeze. Broken right thumb, sustained unsuccessful attempt to take off his undershirt. Mally Mouse says Plesac gives up runs. Wesley Costa says if Plesac isn't rusty, the under first 5 might be a good play here. Yes, Kershaw to the IL. Now they don't have Bauer. All right. What do we do here? Let's see where the cash flow. Well, let's take a look at this market here in this Cleveland spot. Why don't we start there? We have the Indians opened up minus 145. They're now minus 133, a 12-cent move towards the Royals, and I get it. Also, this is just getting hammered to the over. It opened at 8.5. It moved to 9. It's now at 9.5. Hammered towards the over. Professor Chris says, I don't hate the first 5 under here. DC says everything points to over. I'm not going to go up against this market move for sure. We have 38% of the tickets on the Indians and 68% of the cash on the Indians, and the market moving towards the Royals. Very interesting. And by the way, 94% of the cash is on the under, but we don't know if they bought that at 8.5, 9, or 9.5. So it's kind of confusing. Steve Priest says, Plesac has dominated Kansas City thus far in his career, posting 5-0 record, 1.83 ERA in 6 starts. Danny A saying Bucks getting swept. Okay. So Plesac is an unknown. We don't want to go up against this market move that's heavily moving towards the over. There's most of the cash on the Indians, but most of the tickets are on the Royals. That's confusing. Most of the tickets on the Royals, and then we have the cash on the Indians, and then we've had this big market move towards the Royals. A 12-cent move towards the Royals full game. Steve Priest says KC's lost 9 in a row on the road. Cleveland lost 9 in a row overall. Look, this has just got red flags all over it. I mean, looking at the cards so far, and I've not moved on anything yet, and that happens after you get destroyed 0-8 day yesterday. But if my card at this point was the Rockies first 5 at plus 115, the Mariners, and again, I'd probably want to focus on first 5 and go up against Montgomery. And Mariners first 5, but I'm not sure if Logan Gilbert's the guy I want to put my money on. But if I had the Mariners plus money, and then I grabbed the Royals here plus money, I wouldn't hate it. Von Polo just took Kansas City. Mally Mouse says Royals was plus 120 last night, first 5. Let's see what they are now. I believe the first 5s are up in my book again. No, they're pulled again. What the fuck's going on with this? Okay, plus 120, Mally says. Let's see what they are right now. We're just going to go to the first 5 money lines and then move past it. Here we go. The Royals open up at plus 120. Wow, they're plus 105 now, but you can't get a plus 115. Plus 105 in plus 115. Let's see what bookmaker has done with it. They opened the Royals at plus 104 and moved to plus 110. One team's lost 9 straight on the road. The other team's lost 9 straight overall, and we're supposed to put our money on one of them? Okay, let's move to 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and we will start with our man Sharpie's Dirty K prop. Sharpie is on Brubaker over 4.5 at minus 139, going versus the Mets who last 15 days. K percentage is 29%. Brubaker is 3-0 the last 5 games versus 27% K rate or higher. 6 Ks, 9 Ks, and 6 Ks. So there you have it. Brubaker over 4.5 Ks at minus 139 from Mark Sharp. Pittsburgh Pirates are 32-54, 13-29 on the road at the New York Mets, 45-38, 26-12 at home. We're at Citi Field in Queens, New York, 80 Fahrenheit, humid, overcast, 10 miles per hour, out to left center. Brubaker, 4-8, 4.09 ERA, 1.14 whip, 83 2/3, 81 Ks, 18 walks, and 16 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 7-2 loss at home versus the Brewers. Taijuan Walker on the other side, 7-3, 2.44 ERA, 1.01 whip, 85 innings, 87 Ks, 27 walks, 6 home runs. He's been good all season long. The fact that the Jays didn't try to re-sign him really upset a lot of us up here and showed that they weren't investing in this team. Walker, last start, 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 8-3 win at the Yankees. The Pirates are hitting just 230, 655 OPS versus righties. The Mets are hitting just 227, 668 OPS versus righties. Pirates bullpen, 4.25 ERA, 1.33 whip, converted 12-17. Mets bullpen's been pretty good this year, 3.92 ERA, 1.31 whip, converted 23 of 33 save opportunities. So let's take a look at the pitcher versus batter data here. Only 3 Mets have seen Brubaker. They're 2 for 7 with 2 home runs, and that's James McCann, who's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs against Brubaker. Only Adam Frazier's seen Taijuan Walker. So that's going to benefit these pitchers. Let's see what's going on in the market here. We're going to move over. Well, let's look at first 5 very quickly because I guess I'm interested in that. We have a minus 170 spot for Mets, plus 150 for the Pirates and Brubaker. God, that's appealing for a dog spot. Again, we could just – seems like the dogs are pretty live here today. Brubaker, the total for Brubaker Walker is at 4. It's at 4. I'd like to see what Bookmaker has done with it because they have it at 4 minus 110 each way. And the under opened up at minus 120, so there's been a 10-cent move towards the over. And then we go to full game. Full game, money lines and totals in this spot. Seems like there's a lot of live dogs today. The Walker and the Mets open up at minus 186 and now minus 196. And this total that was initially juiced to the under is now juiced to the over. Ooh, Jimmy Gomez says, I also like that Houston first 5 minus a half. Yeah, can we get the taint put in the chat? Okay, so we've seen the market move towards the over. We know that we can trust Brubaker. Let's see where the cash is. 85% of the tickets on the money line on the Mets and 91% of the cash. 75% of the tickets on the over, but just 34% of the cash on the over. God, it just feels like these pitchers should be in a nice spot. But it's, humid, winds 10 miles out to left center at Citi Field. 4. God, I wish I could get a 4.5. I mean, Brubaker got touched a little bit at home versus the Brew Crew. Steve Priest leans Pirates Mets first 5 under 4. So do I, but I feel like it could land right on 4 so easily. All right, first 5 under 4. I'm going to put a question mark beside it. And again, here's another dog that's probably pretty live. Wesley Costa says Brubaker's bad road number is 4.70 ERA, 1.30 whip. We talked about his unbelievable home numbers a couple weeks ago. Yeah, God. Fucking tricky card, man. Steve Priest, Pirates team total first 5 under. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how to move on that spot. Let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Phillies 41-43, 17-27 on the road. The Chicago Cubs 43-44, 27-15 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. 67 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 12 miles per hour in. We have Eflin going up against Alzolay. We know what happens at Wrigley Field when we have double-digit mile per hour wind coming in. Low scoring games. Eflin's 3-6, 4.13 ERA, 1.23 whip, 96 innings, 89 Ks, 13 walks, 14 home runs allowed. What up, Viper, my man? And Robert says same situation as Rangers Tigers yesterday. It was 4.5. I take the under, but 4 just sounds like a push to me. I think I agree. And Wesley Costa says Mets minus 1.5 is my play of the day. I don't dislike that, Wesley, after you breaking down the difficulty Brubaker's had on the road. And MMA locker room, my guy Millsy looking at that over 7.5 Ks. Okay, so Eflin, Alzolay, Eflin 3-6, 4.13 ERA, 1.23 whip, 96 innings, 89 Ks, 13 walks, 14 home runs. His last start was at home versus the Padres, a 4-2 win for them. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 in-runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and a 4-2 win. Alzolay 4-8, 4.48 ERA, 1.08 whip, 72 1/3, 76 Ks, 21 walks, 16 home runs. His last start was at the Reds, and they hit righties hard. And they didn't really get to him. He had a quality start, 3 earned runs in 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks. The Phillies hit just 232, 696 OPS versus righties, and the Cubs just 217, 685 OPS versus righties. Neither of them hit righties hard. Pirates bullpen 4.91 ERA, 1.40 whip, 19 of 41. Cubs bullpen 3.24 ERA, 1.22 whip, 23 of 32. Fat Bat win has Philadelphia team total over 3.5. Says best bet in this game. And Ron Crawford has a spreadsheet play on the Cubs. That's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting, Ron. Steve Priest leaning towards the over. All right, let's take a look at what the market is doing, and then we'll look at batter versus pitcher. So Phillies, Cubs. We have the Cubs open up at minus 108. They're now minus 111. So a 3-cent move over to the Cubs. We have the total opening up at 8 is now at 7.5. So it's moved a half run to the other. Wesley Costa says Eflin, another bad guy or a guy with bad road numbers. 1-5, 5.71 ERA. Okay, and Baez questionable, says DC. Joseph Gomez says, do the Cubs care anymore? I think they do. I still think with Ross there running the squad and the wild card being available, I still think that they care. Let's go to baseball data. Against Eflin, they're hitting .339 with a .782 OPS. And Baez just 2 for 8 with 2 singles against them. It's Chris Bryant who's 8 for 13 with 2 doubles. But they haven't hit a home run against Eflin in 59 at-bats. And now the wind's coming in. Miller is the only person who's seen Alzolay, Brad Miller. Nice job, Trusty, going with the Cubs yesterday. So we have 37%. Let's just change to 38%. So 2,042 tickets in, small sample size, but 38% of the tickets are on the Cubs, 64% of the cash. And 50% of the tickets are on the Cubs and 78% of the cash. The Phillies bullpen is so bad, 4.91 ERA, 1.40 whip. They're just not to be trusted. If I was going to move on this spot, we've seen that full game go from 8 to 7.5. Let's see what this first 5 has done. I think a 4 would be an appealing number here. It was originally juiced to the over 4. Now it's juiced to the under 4. I think that's an appealing number. DC says Cubs are 0-4 in Alzolay's last 4 starts. I am on the board. First 5 under 4 in Phillies Cubs. All right. Let's roll. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the TAINT play of the day. Reds team total over 3.5 at minus 120 in this Reds Brewers spot. I repeat, TAINT play of the day. The TAINT is in. TAINT is in American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I expect the roof to be open, but I'm not certain about that. 65 Fahrenheit, overcast, 9 miles per hour, sideways right across the diamond. We have Tyler Mahle going up against Adrian Hauser. Mahle, 7-3, 3.63 ERA, 1.18 whip, 89 and a third, 112 Ks, 31 walks, 12 homers. In his last start, he got allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, just 1 earned, 1 home run. It was solo shot, 4 walks, 7 Ks, and a 3-2 win at home versus the Cubs. Hauser on the other side, coming off a nice start at the Pirates, and we know that they have a great difficulty hitting righties, the Pirates. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. And now he gets that second consecutive, or, now he has consecutive home start. Oh, sorry. That was at the Pirates. I take that back. So now he's coming back home. Okay. Reds versus righties, 257, 770 OPS. Brewers versus righties, 226, 87 OPS. Reds bullpen, 5.19 ERA, 1.43 whip, 23 of 36 converted save opportunities. This Brewers bullpen looking very strong, 3.82 ERA, 1.32 whip, converted 24 of 40. Patrick Buelna says, I like the Reds. Brewers have played 9 games in the last 8 days, coming off an 8-game road trip and doubleheaders. And Mike M complaining about his beefy taint. Ugh. Oh God, that's fucking gross, dude. I gotta see this just to keep my mind off of Mike M's beefy taint. That helped a little bit. To get me off Mike M's beefy taint. Okay, let's get back to business here. Market moves. Oh, God. Okay, Cincinnati, Milwaukee. We have the first 5 was initially juiced to the under 4.5 and minus 119. It's now minus 116. And we have the Reds as a very slight favorite. So let's go to full game money lines and totals. Again, we probably want to stay off of a bullpen battle between these two teams. And the Reds used some nice pieces yesterday. And this has gone from 8 to 8.5. Robert Allen's best bet of the day, Tigers first 5 at minus 105. Second best bet, Mariners first 5. Williams Fun Videos says, what does Loshak do all day? You know, he decorates his treehouse. This is what we've been told. Okay, let's go to baseball data and get a better idea of what our guy, Matty Ice, was looking at. Against Hauser, they're hitting 356 with a 1.175 OPS. And then against Molly, they're hitting 308 with a 1.073 OPS. 8 for 26 with 3 homers. Wow, they've hit 10 homers off of Hauser. 10 homers off of Hauser? All right. Javier Gonzalez says today's card is tough. You know, I think I need a tough card. I don't want anything simple screaming at me. Oh, Christopher Comtini's right. He works at the Dunkin' Donuts in Yemen as well. So he gets jetted in and out of Yemen. God, a tired Milwaukee squad. A huge, huge series for the Reds now that the Cubs have fallen off. Yes, Juan Ruiz knows the Lotus Way dictates the life of solitude, coffee, meditation, muchachas, and capping. He's right. Okay, Wesley Costas like in the over 8.5. I get that. So right now the 5s are back on the board at this book at 4.5. The full game is at 8.5 at a pick'em. Yes, Patrick, it does. Austin Hill in the house, just starting diving into college football win totals. I love it. LSU over 8.5. Boston College over 7. Oklahoma State over 7.5. Ole Miss over 7.5. I think this all makes sense. I don't know why this is, but when a capper who's, you know, so skilled like Matty Ice stays away from a first 5 just because of bad luck and bad beats, it makes me want to bet that first 5. And Puzzler is on the Cincinnati first 5 at minus 110. I think that I should do this. And Matty says Mally had 12 Ks last game versus the Brewers. Wesley Costa saying the Reds' pen is atrocious. Okay, I am going to move on the Reds' first 5. But let's just take a look at the cash here just to have confidence. We have 42% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the Brewers. And look at this, 65% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the over. And Steve Preciado thinking it's a divisional spot. Okay. I'm going to take the Reds' first 5 in this spot. Reds' first 5. And then I wonder if this is if it's not too juiced that we can go with the first team to score, but it's minus 160. Of course it is. Because they know that they are going to be the first team to score. Okay. Christopher Comtini said Jimmy lives in Costa Rica, has to know Spanish. I know the important words. I can get my way through a strip club experience. Sharpie says Reds first 5 is on his card. And Chris Drobny has that team total at 3.5. Okay, so the taint is the Reds team total over 3.5 at minus 120. I am going to move on the Reds first 5. And let's just let Mia Khalifa bless us before we move on. We move on. 9 Oh, no, sorry. I skipped the game. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Here we go. This is the Screwball J.A. Happ spot. This is another spot that Gas Station Sushi said he was going to be attacking J.A. Happ in. We also know Pistol Pete Lodels Loshak is wanting to fade Happ at every opportunity. Tigers are 40-47, 19-25 on the road at Minnesota Twins, 35-50, 18-25 at home. Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 76 Fahrenheit clear, 3 miles per hour in. Tariq Skubal, 5-7, 4.35 ERA, 1.39 whip, 82 2/3, 100 Ks, 37 walks, 17 home runs. Patrick Buena is on that Tigers, is on the over in this game in the Tigers money line. Steve Priest is on the Tigers plus 115. Matty Ice says, Tigers are rolling. Never thought I'd say that. Okay. Target Field in Minneapolis. We have 76 Fahrenheit clear, 3 miles per hour, and Tariq Skubal. And you guys know that I'm high on this kid. 5-7, 4.35 ERA, 1.39 whip, 100 Ks and 82 2/3, 37 walks, and 17 homers. Yeah, I forgot about that, Diesel. I forgot about this. Yeah, no names. Oh, that's funny. Okay, last start, he got hit hard by the White Sox, but they won the game. You know, he bent but didn't break. He still went to full 5. He allowed 5 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. J.A. Happ looks bad. I mean, in a 7-4 loss at the Royals last out, he only goes 4 1/3, allows 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. These Royals don't hit lefties. Matty Ice says that Skubal K-prop should be a pretty nice look. Steve Priest says Detroit Tigers over 6 games in a row. Tigers versus lefties, 235, 683 OPS. And obviously I'm coming off just a disaster day. But I said, watch the numbers that the Tigers have versus lefties climb all year. Obviously, it's easy to say because they start out so badly. But they will end up in the middle of the road against lefties. Not the worst team in the league against lefties. Matty Ice says the only thing is that no Tigers hitters that are on the current roster have any success for Happ. Okay. So the Twins hit lefties hard, 258, 761 OPS. Both bullpens are bad. Tigers, 5.15 ERA, 1.49 whip. Twins, 4.94 ERA, 1.38 whip. So let's see what the market has done with this spot. The Twins opened up at minus 131. They're now minus 123. So an 8-cent move towards the Tigers. This total was juiced to the over minimally at minus 108 over 9.5. It's now at minus 113. So a 5-cent move towards the over. Okay. So let's go to the data here. Against Skubal, they're hitting 146 with a 5.15 OPS. He's just been getting these guys out. Polanco 1 for 7 with a homer. Nelson Cruz 1 for 7 with a homer. Donaldson 1 for 6. Kepler 1 for 5. Sano 2 for 8 with 2 singles. And then against Happ, they're hitting 291 with a 759 OPS. So Nico is 7 for 10 against them with 2 doubles. Jeimer Candelario 2 for 15, but 2 homers. Mazzara 2 for 6 with a couple singles. Scope 9 for 38. Miggy 4 for 19. Matty Ice took the under 9.5. Says it's on my card. Mel, you're absolutely right. They do. And Matty Ice says not on the roster. Who does Detroit expect? Well, Scope will be there. Oh, yeah, Nico Goodrum's batting today. They expect him to bat 6th. Akil Badu has been so good. Interesting. Wesley Costas. Oh, Goodrum has been sent to the minors. Okay. Steve Priest says Tigers have won 4 of their past 5 series while earning a split against American League West, leading Houston in the other. They're playing good baseball. So do we want to back Tigers first 5 here? And how different is the first 5 line than the full game line? So we have the Twinkies as minus 125 favorites. When we go to first 5, we have them at minus 115 favorites. Oh, okay, Matty Ice says they must have just brought Nico up. He was batting third for the Mudhens the other night. Okay. Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't take the Tigers first 5. Okay. Tigers first 5 is being added. I'm a Screwball guy. I'm a Screwball fan. We have one game left, and then let's do a pretty thorough review before we get into NBA. Trot Wam joining us here for the game 2 of the NBA Finals. Nationals 42-43, 18-21 on the road at San Diego. Padres 51-38, 31-17 home. We're at Petco Park, San Diego, California. 71 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, sideways up to right field. Maximus Scherzer on the hill, 7-4, 2.10 ERA, 0.85 WHIP, 94 in the third, 127 Ks, 21 walks, 13 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and a 10-5 loss at home versus the Dodgers. You Darvish, okay, Prince of City. Darvish 7-3, 2.165 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, 123 Ks, 102 innings. And Christopher Comentini says the first 5, as Pete would say, low hanging. I think it might be. It might just be. And we're getting a nice line, Chris. Okay, so Darvish's last start was a 4-2 loss at the Phillies. He did not look very good. 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 homers. Did get 8 Ks in 6 innings. Steve Priest says Scherzer, Darvish going for a pitcher's duel. First 5 under and full game under. The Nats are hitting 248, 720 OPS versus righties. Padres 244, 738 OPS. And Patrick Blunt has a very interesting point. Scherzer all-star snub, Nats first 5. Wesley Costa says, I'm staying away. Who knows what you're going to get with these starters? Both have suspected use of the sticky stuff. And Matty Ice says, I like the Nats. Big bats for San Diego have no success versus Max. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go to baseball data here. Against Max, 229, 667 OPS. Machado, 5 for 34. Tatis, 0 for 3. Hosmer, 11 for 43. Against Darvish, 312 with a 778 OPS. Yan Gomes, 3 for 6. Josh Bell, 2 for 9, but a double and a homer. Interesting. Mally Mal says no run first inning ain't too pricey, and I like it. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. So we have the total at the first 5 total at 3.5. It was initially juiced to the minus 118. It's now minus 111. So there's been a 7-cent move to the over. Now let's go to full game. Full game money lines and totals here. We have the Padres opening up at minus 135. They're now minus 144. So a 9-cent move towards them, and this total's gone from 6.5 to 7. Matty Ice says Nats are hitting, but big Nats bats have never seen Darvish. Von Polo says Nats for him. So let's see where the cash is in this game. This will be interesting. Just 2,900 tickets in, but we have the tickets split on the money line 50-50, but 74% of the cash on the Padres. Then we have 59% of the tickets on the over, but 85% of the cash on the under. Millsy says, sticky stuff for Nod. I'm on Max over 7.5 Ks, and Sharpie just spoke about it. Trusty says, wow, as many runs as these two have put up in the first 5 totals under 3.5, that's a bit strange. It's a bit dangerous. And Patrick Bueno is saying Padres super public team. You're absolutely right. No run first inning minus 145 at bet 365. Thank you for sharing that with us, Thursday. I was thinking about it. Let's just go back to the baseball data one more time. I kind of like that Nats first 5. I doubt we're going to get any information, but I might just check right now. First half. We going to get anything with this Nats game? No. 85. Oh, actually, they are giving us a little bit. 85% of the first 5 tickets on the Nats and 22% of the cash. Kind of want to have Scherzer in this spot. Robert Allen says Darvish was human in his last start versus Philly. I'm curious if he will come back today and be human again or unhittable. And Nats first 5 money line plus 110 is the official play for me. You know, it's interesting with this card. You could really fill it up with a bunch of plus spots. Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't take the Nats first 5 here with Scherzer, and especially if we're getting a plus line. Robert Allen on it too. Okay, let me just see what I get. I'm just gonna move this over to first 5. I'm sorry, and it's off. They're off the board again. What the fuck is this book doing? Patrick Buono says Darvish does pitch better at home, but I'm going with the All-Star snub angle and the hotter team. I agree. All right, first 5 Nats going on my card. Okay, let's review again. Jose is on the under 7.5 in the Dodgers Marlins game that's just popped off. Now, the question is, did I miss the opportunity to bet the Astros? And has the market just moved too much? It has. It's now minus 180. I can't. I got to let it go. Mistake on my part, probably. I mean, the only thing I could do is really, I got to let that go. I screwed up. Now we have Chichi Gonzalez coming off another. Let me just quickly, and I know that we want to get to NBA very soon, but I need to see Chichi splits home road here because I know this sounds like a ass clown move, but I kind of want to back Rockies at the plus line first 5 against Feria. Gonzalez, take a quick look here at the splits. Full splits, and God, he's terrible on the road. 6.81 ERA, 0-5 hit it. Batters hitting 302 against them. Okay, I can't do it. Okay, that's not going to be on the board. All right, Yankees, Mariners. I completely understand the look on the Mariners. I just still don't, even though the Mariners have nice numbers against lefties, I still don't know if I trust it. There's my guy Jacksonville Zoe in the house. I think the Jays Orioles game is going to get rained out. Wham says fade Chichi. Okay, I'm not going to move on this first 5 under 4 in the Mets game. We have Brew Baker over 4.5 Ks at minus 139. Okay, so I'm on the first 5 under 4 in Philadelphia, Chicago. I'm on the Reds first 5. I'm on the Tigers first 5 and the Nats first 5. And that will be my card that I badly need a bounce back day. So, again, I'm on the Nats first 5, Tigers first 5, Reds first 5, and the Phillies Cubs first 5 under 4. All right, there you have it. That is MLB baseball. We've had a very good year, and I almost ruined it in one night. And I'm really upset. But you know what will get me out of a angry mood is our NBA expert, Wham Bam, a.k.a. Trot Wam, in the house, coming to us live from Long Beach, California. Wham Bam, how are you, my man? How things? I can't hear you, Wham.
I just had to make sure my mic was on. There it is. Thank you very much. Yeah, bro. I'm feeling good, feeling great. Happy to be here, man. Blessed to be here. Blessed to have a fucking bankroll after this season. But, let's get right to it, though. I'm feeling excited. It's the NBA Finals. Great time, bro. Great times.
It is a great, great time to be alive and to cap NBA Finals. Who would have thunk we'd be sitting here talking Milwaukee Bucks at Phoenix Suns? Let's begin by pulling up the market and figuring out where the cash is, and then let's hear your first plan. The Suns open up as 5.5-point favorites, and money likely coming in on the Bucks because we see 4.5s now on the board. Kev Riley joined us earlier and said, man, put a mortgage payment on the Suns. They keep rolling. This total up at 220.5. That's where it stands right now. Now, I wanted the Bucks early in game 1, and I bet them. I ended up moving on the first quarter, not the first half. But everything was predicated on Giannis Antetokounmpo not being on the floor. And what we saw happens with the Bucks offense is it gets stagnant. When the ball gets down to Giannis down low, everybody stops moving. And there was a couple times where Bucks players would cut to the hoop, and Giannis was kind of stuck under the hoop, and all he had to do was just pass the ball off to it for an easy dunk, and he didn't do that. And one time it was Lopez coming in for, what would have been a clear, easy dunk. And you could see the look on Lopez's face when he doesn't get the ball, because every other player on the team would have given him the ball in that situation. So I probably should have bet out of it. I didn't. And it hurt me. Let's see where the cash is, and then we'll hand it over to our man, Wham Bam. NBA here. We have 15,256 tickets, 57 tickets accounted for. On the spread, 55% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the Suns, and yet it's moving in the Bucks' direction. On the money line, 63% of the tickets and 74% of the cash on the Suns. And in the total, we have 41% of the tickets on the under and 75% of the cash on the under. Wham Bam, Game 2, NBA Finals. Take it away.
Yeah, last game, I got hit as well, bro. I was on the under. It was on the under there, and they're making that official. Was very upset when I found out Giannis was involved in this lineup, because I was thinking maybe it'd be more of a fast break type of game for the Bucks, which kind of, shows here, neither here nor there, because it seems like the Suns, go back in here. Let's just talk about the Phoenix Suns here, because they the one that won. It seems like the Suns are on cruise control, to be honest with you. It seems like they're on cruise control to me. Ayton seems like he could just get anything he wants as far as his points. He was able to get to the rim easily. As far as rebounding the ball, seems like his rebound prop is live in this series. As far as Brook Lopez, exactly what I thought. I thought he was going to be taken advantage of on the pick and roll. It was 37 defensive possessions for Brook Lopez in this game. He didn't play that many minutes, honestly, because they figured out that it was a liability. They were going at him 32 out of the 37 times on defense that he was available. And every time, pick and roll, 32 times, bro. 32 times that they took advantage of the Brook Lopez on the perimeter. And it was Cram and Praying. It was Booker. It was Paul. They did everything they wanted to do there, basically. So that was kind of troubling there. If you were a Bucks backer, I think they have to make that adjustment, have to play Giannis more at the 5, have to make more PJ Tucker. So that being said, I'm going to be on the PJ Tucker prop, points, rebounds, and assists over 11.5. That's going to be something I'm locking in. I think he has to play a little bit more. They have to have him more on the perimeter. And then that's kind of reason why I'm taking that advantage there. But I want to go back with the Suns too. But it's scary. Like you said, the line, everyone wants to be on the Suns here. I can see the Bucks bouncing back by doing that adjustment, and that's what scares me, bro.
Back to the Giannis spot, and Drew talked about it. So when Giannis was out of the lineup, Middleton and Holiday averaged combined 55 points and 36.1% from 3. Giannis comes back, and they combine for 39 points and 5 for 16 from 3. And Drew said they were being too unselfish with Giannis back. They're looking for Giannis all the time when they don't have to. He said they hesitated taking shots that they've been taking and making while he was out of action. It's easier said than done. And then Gerald Jones brings up a great point. He says, can Coach Bud make the adjustments?
Yeah.
It's something that we've questioned about him consistently. I mean, the one thing that he did was when he became the coach of the Bucks, he sped the pace up and they started jacking up nonstop threes. And we liked that move. We said that move, okay, I like that move. But we have never seen him make in-game adjustments like a Tyronn Lue did this playoff series.
Right.
I mean, can you answer that question from Gerald Jones? Can Coach Bud make adjustments, or is it up to the players, Drew and Middleton, to start jacking up shots and taking the onus offensively?
I think he can. I think he can make those adjustments. He kind of showed in the last game. By taking Brook Lopez off the floor. He did that same thing in the game 1 against Atlanta as well. He took Brook Lopez off the floor. Brook Lopez has 23 minutes last game. He had 23 minutes. Obviously, stat line showed that he was out there doing great work. 17 points. You know what I mean? 6 rebounds. I think he went over his rebound prop as well, which was, I believe, 5.5 or something like that. But they went at him. I have it right here. Man, they went at him 32 times. They went at him 32 times out of the 37 defensive possessions that he was out there. So, and every time they went pick and roll. So I think him taking him off the floor was the adjustment that I needed to see to say, hey, man, maybe the Bucks might be live here. But not only that, maybe I could stay away from taking the Bucks and just hope that I could still get the same type of production from PJ Tucker. In last game, he did what he had to do to go over this points, rebound, and assist total. I think if he gets an increase in involved in the game plan, it's only going to go up from there. So that's how I'm approaching that side of the game. I do want to go back with the under as well, though, bro. I'm not going to lie. I do want to go back with the under, but I'm kind of spooked, man, because the way the tempo was without Chris Paul on the floor and Cameron Payne was pushing the floor, it kind of spooked me, man.
Bill McDonald says, stay with the over. Even CP3 talked about the fast pace. They played at 101.5 possessions a game in game one, and that's much faster than either team would be. That's 5 possessions a game faster than either team was playing in the playoffs through so far. So, to still cash the over when the Bucks aren't scoring and the pace is fast, it makes me wonder why. Now, I see that it opened at 220.5, so the market did adjust.
Right.
But did they adjust enough?
It hasn't moved, though, right? It hasn't moved, and a lot of people are on the under.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have a couple hundred more tickets now counted, 15,396. 74% of the cash on the under, 59% of the tickets on the over.
Okay.
J Dub says Booker will have a breakout game at some point in this series. Why don't we move over? I'm not sure what to do at this point. Still, I still feel like the Suns are going to hold court here, but again, seeing the market moving towards the Bucks while the public are on the Suns is a red flag. Let's go to player props. So you talked about PJ Tucker points, assists, and rebounds. That's where you are starting your card off. It's 11.5 at Bet365 as well. It's juiced to the under, interestingly enough. Let's go to points here. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 25.5. Chris Middleton at 25.5. And Drew Holiday at 19.5. Do any of those three interest you?
Drew Holiday does kind of stand out after you even mentioned his quote there, them being a little bit more passive. Maybe he needs to keep himself being assertive, and that's the reasoning. That's the X factor for this team, honestly. If we all could kind of see that, and maybe that's something that he probably got chewed up out. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, even Giannis, probably shoot the ball or one of those guys said something to him. But the way you said it was even perfect as well, as far as how Giannis was trying to be a little too aggressive. Maybe he holds out a little bit and allow these guys to, cook up. So maybe Middleton and maybe Drew Holiday is going to have a better game here. But I'm going to stay away from Middleton on the road because he obviously it's just two different things there. Stay away from him. Drew Holiday, I could see it, but I just think that PJ Tucker is a better look here. You're getting a short number. And he could be on the floor as far as a veteran presence, and we've seen that their bench is kind of short as well. So without Brook Lopez out there, if he's going to continue to get ragdolled out there on pick and roll, that's kind of the reason why they won. If you want to be serious, because the Phoenix Suns kind of tricked it off in the fourth quarter, they kind of gave it up, and a lot of that was without Brook Lopez on the floor. So I think that probably was a good sign that PJ Tucker probably is a good guy. But, yeah, man, I think Willie Valley as well, though. I think Willie Valley probably can pull it off. I'm just not going to bet that because line movement and based off of what the Suns shown me, they could be coasting, and I'm kind of scared of that. And that's the only reason why I'm not backing Suns today, if you're asking why I'm not backing them.
Let's move over to the Suns. Dennis Trusty says, I love Ayton over 50.5 here. Again, the Bucks didn't learn their lesson last time. I think it's going to have to be huge in order for them to win a championship. And then Northander says, I'm on Ayton points prop, Ayton rebounds prop, and Ayton's point and rebounds props. And what up, JL? Thank you for joining us, my guy. So what do you think of this look on Ayton? His points are at 15.5 right now, and they're juiced to the over. Booker at 28.5. Jay Crowder at 10.5, and Chris Paul at 21.5. Payne and Johnson both at 7.5. Anything jump out at you?
I like Ayton all the way, man. I don't know if we talked about it a little bit, but we did talk about it on the show with Ian Cameron and Ski about the futures and MVP. Ayton MVP seems interesting to me. You know what I mean? It was at plus 1,400, I believe, before the series started, and he showed that he played significant minutes, significant production, continued to play really well, and kind of what I thought. Even though I didn't think Giannis was going to play, though, let's be honest. Like, I was big up here talking he wasn't going to play. I didn't think he was going to play. So they got the rim protection that they needed there. You've seen him a little bit more active there on defensive end, which was, showed that he played pretty well. He probably get increased load, if he can. This is the finals, man. So I believe that Aiden can continue to do that, but with pressure on him, that probably is the difference. And I don't think Giannis could guard Aiden, don't get me wrong, but I think it can make it a little bit more difficult than they have been with Brook Lopez on the floor.
Okay, well, so one of your main angles, and it makes sense to me, is that the Bucks aren't going to play Lopez much. So you have Portis and Tucker sitting at 6.5 and 4.5 points for the game. I mean, isn't that going to be widely available for them to hit those overs if there's no Brook Lopez?
Yeah, the only thing that stood me away from the points for PJ Tucker was the juice. I think it was like minus 136 or something around there from when I was seeing it in my book. So that's the only thing that stood me away from the points. So I do agree with that. 2 wide open corner threes, which he's shown that he's been missing. You know what I'm saying? I've been paying attention. He has been missing those wide open threes there, but could knock those down. You know what I mean? That's the difference between going over 4.5, I think, for him, or something crazy like that. But you said George as well. You said George?
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis. Yeah, you know what? Bobby Portis is one of those guys who's been consistent as well. I haven't really looked into his numbers. I was going to kind of stay away from Bobby Portis because I have a big, strong angle on PJ Tucker guarding the perimeter, and Bobby Portis on the perimeter is something I don't think that's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's going to see any type of increase in minutes from what he's already shown. So I'm just locked in on PJ Tucker. I didn't even think about Bobby Portis. My fault, bro.
They're both at 4.5 and 6.5 and minus 125. Very interesting. And then with Lopez, I mean, Brook Lopez is 18.5 points, assists, and rebounds. I guess he can be so dangerous from outside, but if we think they're going to keep him off the floor, I mean, that under would be in play.
Right.
But, I mean, he did 17 and 6 in, 23 minutes?
Yeah.
Tricky. Jason Folk says PJ was hot about a few iffy calls in game one. I think he comes to play with the short number. I'd like the look Wham. I'm looking to any adjusted down Bucks aside from Middleton.
What do you think about PJ? Bobby Portis was 3 rebounds and 5 points, 14 minutes. He could see a little bit of bump in minutes there. I could see that happening, man. That's something I'm gonna look into though.
But you think they moved Tucker to the 5?
No, I think they may have Giannis at the 5. I think even Coach Bud, I want to say I heard him at the press conference even speak and allude to Giannis being at the 5. I wish I had the quote here in front of me, but I was just listening to it before I hopped on here with you guys. Like, that was another angle there that I was thinking, like, man, maybe he's talking about it just to be honest with the public. Like, hey, I need these guys here. And honestly, I'm one of the most critical people for Coach Bud, and I just seen the adjustment already in the fourth quarter. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe this is it.
And do you think that's part of the reason why the market has moved it to 4.5?
For the
that's the total, that the point spread's gone from 5.5 to 4.5.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. So, but you know what? I see 5s here in my book, but I think this is Bovada here that I'm looking at right now in front of me. So this is the difference there. But yeah, I think the 4.5 market move, and on top of that, I don't hear anybody talking about the Bucks that much. So that shows me that it may be somebody that's laying big spreads to move those lines. You know what I mean? Laying big money on there. So that's another reason why I don't want to take the Suns. But I think the Suns are just coasting, man. Bad games from a few key players, and they're going to lose. We've shown that if they're going to win, they're going to cover. If they lose, they're going to lose outright. You know what I mean? So I like the Bucks here for a lean, but for sure I'm already locked in on PJ Tucker over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
PJ Tucker over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists from our Wham Bam, and a lean towards the Bucks. And you have Hoobang Sports Lounge tomorrow night, and you will be tweeting out any extra action that you will be popping out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the Hoobang Sports Talk Lounge on Friday, 6 p.m. at Who Bangers YouTube channel. Walter Trotter on to some, you know what I mean? And Trot Wam on Twitter. Appreciate you, bro. You already know, man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I do not know what to do in this basketball game. I do not know what to do. I guess I'm going to sit back and wait and kind of watch the market here. But my first instinct was that the Suns just seem very comfortable. But the Bucks have to play a certain way to succeed. And that way, for me, is that Giannis can't – I don't know who to blame for what happens to this Bucks offense when Giannis has the ball down low, because there's just no movement. And Middleton and Drew Holiday just sit there and they pass up shots. I don't know what to do at this point. I had a 5-bet winning streak snapped with that Bucks first quarter. Here we go. We have a PJ Tucker prop and a lean from our Wham Bam. Follow him on Twitter at Trot Wam. And that is our Thursday card here. Don't forget, we have our big NBA Pub Hub show at 4 p.m. with Ski Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, Babano, and C-Mac. Babano and C-Mac have an MLB show popping off here in 20 minutes. And tonight, I will be on Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show with my mom at my side. We're going to be hammering the horses, drinking Kraken.
Nice.
And making cash.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Fun vibe. I have my mom rolling with us. So there you have it. In MLB, I made no bets before I came to the show. I wanted to talk everything out with you guys. I have 4 looks. I'm on the Phillies Cubs first 5 under 4. I'm on the Reds first 5, the Tigers first 5, and the Nats first 5, and have not moved in NBA yet. Razor Sharp Gambler's first glance is the Phillies money line at plus 105. Oh, wow. Phillies money line. Why did I think that was Cubbies when I first looked at it? Phillies money line at plus 105. Jacksonville Zoe asking if Wham's going to be on Pub Hub again today.
Yes,
is that you are?
Locked in. Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes,
beautiful.
Sir. Yes,
Beautiful.
sir. We may lock in the Bucks. You know, I'm going to do a little bit more digging. Maybe even that Bobby Portis prop as well. You know, I'm glad you guys put me on to that. And I am another supporter and love Jimmy's hat. I just want to put that out there. I do love Jimmy's hat as well. Very, very nice color there.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. They disappointed us enormously, but you know what? We get Jalen Suggs at point. Get a little hope moving forward. That'll be a lot of fun. And I love Chris Boucher and Ken Birch. I love having a little Canadian blood out there. I just love that shit. So
that's nice.
I'm excited about next year, even though they really, really hurt us this year.
We'll be back in the city, man. The 6th, bro.
So Wham Bam will be on the Pub Hub show tonight, and J-Dub and Jason Falk looking at the CP3 props over 1.5 threes for J-Dub and Jason Falk. On behalf of all of us here at Pub Sports Radio, thank you guys so much for watching. We have absolutely no show without all of your insights and your hard work and your humor, and we thank you guys so much for it. And Jose on the 1s and 2s, and big shout out to Jeff Slaughter leading the way for us here at Pub Sports Radio. Wham Bam, can you lecture us into a cash-filled future?
This is the only YouTube channel where you're going to get legendary content just like this. Jimmy in the Bag Show, as we should every day. Leche y los bookmakers.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.